Clive Jacobs is chairman and owner of Jacobs Media Group and recently relocated to Dubai to spearhead his company's Middle East expansion. Clive, thanks so much for talking to us today. Jacobs Media Group is now a massive empire spanning across the world. Can you tell me a little bit about the different facets of Jacobs Media Group?
Well, Jacobs Media Group started out with myself acquiring Travel Weekly from Read Business Information in 2009, off the back of the last downturn. Many of the larger businesses were taking themselves away from print publishing in the B2B space. I was approached to actually back a management buyout, but ended up getting involved and stuck in because I could really see the opportunity to take the trade media, the trade press to a different level. And over the last 11 and a half years, we've evolved from that tiny Travel Weekly to a Jacobs Media Group, which pre-COVID was running about 160 events around the world every year. We, in fact, won the Queen's Award for Enterprise for Export in 2020 in terms of our overseas and international growth around our events. I think we've revolutionised particularly events around meetings. We launched a product called Connections back in 2014, which has brought buyers and sellers together, but in a very specific way. Very high quality events, which are as much about networking as they are about bonding, both between the suppliers and the buyers. And they've been highly experiential and different. I think to do things well, you have to do them differently and you have to add real value. Today people are not happy to just turn up at an exhibition and wander around and just collect literature. People actually want to get a return on their investment and they want to meet the people that will make a difference to their business.
And now you're expanding into the Middle East. Why the Middle East?
We were talking about launching in the Middle East some years back. Because of the opportunity that exists specifically in the Middle East, it has not been serviced in the way that we operate. There really isn't the same level of interaction between trade media and the trade in the Middle East as there are in many other areas. And therefore, that in itself is an opportunity. But the Middle East is the fastest growing area for travel and tourism. And our business is about tourism and hospitality. So we felt it was a really good opportunity to launch something now, because the time to launch is when everyone else is hiding in their bunkers. That's the time for us to advance.
And do you think other governments can learn from the UAE and how they handled the pandemic?
Yes, I think they really can. I mean, if you look at the UAE, the case numbers have been in steady decline, despite all the different variants that crop up every other week. And because the testing is either done at the airport or done before you come, the measures are enforced strictly. I don't want to pick on particular governments, but it's no good making threats about various measures that you're taking if you don't actually back them up. So put in place good measures, back them up, follow them up, and then everything works. I think certainly looking here in Dubai, it's been handled incredibly well, and that should be a good starting point for the industry to put in place protocols and procedures for the future that stop something like this coming along again and causing, first of all, a threat to people's health, but also destroying livelihoods and an industry.
When do you think the travel industry will bounce back?
It's a question of when many governments will come to grips with the fact that you will not eradicate COVID, that there will be variants of COVID forever and a day, and that we've got to, now that we have the vaccine, we've got to learn to live with this shockingly terrible virus, but we've got to learn to live with it and allow things to get back to normal.
And where will your next holiday be?
Now that I've sort of basing myself here in Dubai, I think the world is my oyster. I feel like I'm at the centre of the universe. So I think since the Maldives is one of my favourite destinations, and it really is a hop and a skip, possibly the Maldives.
It is a hop and a skip, and it is worth it. Clive Jacobs, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.